All right, what is up, guys? So, got a special one for today. Actually, I'm really excited. I know a lot of you guys have already been asking about this, and it's something that I'm really excited about. Me and I won't. I got to be careful here that I don't dox you. I don't know if you're going to be doxed. I know Brainiac personally. I met him actually while I was out in Mexico. I actually got introduced by a really good friend of mine and business partner Julian. And yeah, I was able to meet him a while ago, and he's someone who's an extremely talented trader. That's actually how him and my business partner got introduced. And we ended up going and seeing, this was right around the time we were kind of talking about monks. And he started filling me in on a little bit of the stuff that he was working on. He showed me some of the sneak peeks of some of the art. And right away I was like, oh damn. I'm like, this looks sick. And I'm looking through it all, and I'm like, this looks fucking awesome. And he's like, yeah, and I even drew a lot of these. And I'm like, no fucking way, you're drawing all of these too? I'm like, that's nuts. And he starts going into the vision of some of the stuff that he wants to do. And I won't go too deep into this here because I know he's going to be jumping in and sharing a lot of this. But I just really started to see that, he wanted to get into the space. He was really passionate about it, and that he really wanted to build something much more than even though the art he was taking a big focus on, he wanted it to stand out and be much more than just the art. And any of you guys that know me, like that's one of the things that I look for a ton. I think we're way past the point of projects being able to just be art. And I think he's got a really cool concept on what they're looking to do. So yeah, with that being said, we'd love to introduce Mr. Brainiac, and you can kind of fill us in a little bit about your background and about yourself, and then we can start diving into Brainiacs.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, Jane. Yeah, it was a pleasure meeting you as well. And Julian's an amazing guy. Was one of my favorite students. Dude was like a sponge. But yeah, so a bit about me. I'm 27 now. I grew up on a dairy farm in Kansas, so a real Midwestern guy. Spent some time out in LA. But over the last 6-7 years, my primary focus was trading Forex. In the last couple, that sort of pivoted into crypto.
Oh.
I think your AirPods are stroking out, my friend.
You there?
AirPods gone.
R.I.P. AirPods.
Let me hit him on the side.
It'd be sad if you didn't know. He's just sitting there talking still.
Yeah.
Man, that would be so not cool if he was still talking.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, there he is.
You
took out the AirPods, yeah. So hopefully that'll help. Yeah, I disconnected from him, but yeah. So I started.
Where we lost you.
Dairy farm, best part. All right. No, so yeah, I grew up on a dairy farm. Spent my whole life on a dairy farm growing up, and then always had that kind of Midwestern mindset. But then eventually, just got really curious and ended up moving out to San Diego when I was about 20, and I had started working with pro athletes on their Shopify stores, things like that. Just getting really deep into marketing Facebook ads when that was really becoming a thing, and they were really cheap and really effective. And so that was my primary focus for, a year. And that gave me the funds to get into Forex. And again, like Forex wasn't something that I started doing with a burning passion. It was just something that I saw other people doing. I dove into it, and it just made a lot of sense. I'm a very technical person, and I'm a very visual person. So when I look at a chart and start to run my analysis and stuff, it's just something that always came very natural to me. And I was a sponge, so I remember a lot of it. But yeah, so I did that for like 6 years, almost 7 years. And in the last 2, so about this time last year, really in January last year, I just felt this massive burnout coming to where it was like, man, I was not only trading, but I was working like 18-hour days consistently, even through the weekends, because, I was doing my trading, but then I also had hundreds of students as well. And so it was something that was amazing for me at the time when it began and when I started it. And it really developed a platform for myself to then extend on and grow. And that was kind of always the vision, was like, let me, establish myself here with Forex. There's no overhead, no employees. It's very independent. I grew up as a wrestler, so I was always into like the whole independent sports. I'm a massive team player, but I like when, I can rely on myself for the end result. And so that's why I really fell in love with it and caught a groove with it. And then eventually that, took me into crypto, and then I started crypto trading. And that was just like, wow, this isn't far off. And for me, it was a lot more exciting because, when I run fundamental analysis I'm a technical trader, but, you got to know some fundamental stuff to really kill the game. And so like that side of it for Forex for me was very boring. I didn't really care about microeconomics and, following up with countries and stuff. It was very political and stressful, and I just didn't enjoy it. So when I started to apply the same knowledge to crypto and, my technical analysis aside, the fundamental side of it and following a company or following, a technology, what are they trying to do? That stuff was really exciting for me, and it came really natural. It felt like it was kind of new all over again. So I started focusing on crypto, and then, as it would go, January last year, I started catching the bug for NFTs. And so when I started learning about NFTs, it wasn't something that I was like, it wasn't the art. I wasn't introduced to it through the art. I was introduced to it through like the technology. So I had started creating like, front end designs for apps and things that I saw NFTs going as far as utility and technology. One of my favorite projects that I had started building was like a CAPTCHA. And it would have been like an NFT project based around a CAPTCHA bot. Everybody's clicked on the annoying CAPTCHA on Google and you see all those pictures. And I had this thought, of like, well, this is going to become a data game really, really quickly. So what if there was a CAPTCHA NFT project where all of those, hundreds or thousands of pictures that they're using for these CAPTCHAs were owned by individual people. And then the data collected on every one of those things is obviously would be a lot more secure. All the data collected on it, the end user would get to hold. And then so that way it was like, what could we create that maybe like a Facebook or a Google would be interested in? And that like took me down this insane rabbit hole. And it ended up just being something that was a bigger bite than I could chew, So I was like, this is a back burner type thing. Started filing trademarks around the concept and some stuff that I wanted to do there just to keep it on the back burner. And I was like, I'm just going to educate. Like, I'm just going to learn, consume, like figure out all the different angles, because as I was getting into that, I was learning about so many different things. And then so for like the whole last year of 2021, I was just day trading NFTs, put a screeching halt on Forex trading because I wanted to go all in with this. I didn't want to be half in, half out. So I was like, you know what? This feels like the new chapter in my life. This feels like an opportunity for me to go after something that really intrigues me, that really excites me, and where I'll be able to use my creative mind because, I'm very creative, I'm very artistic, and I've always been that way. But, they say like back in the day, drawing doesn't pay the bills, and it absolutely didn't. But now there's a time where I can use my creative side. I can use my community, my love for communities and masterminds, and I can put all those things together to create a really cool concept. So, as a result of like diving into NFTs, I have a really, really good friend, one of my closest friends, trust him with my life. His name is Jack. My name's Johnny, by the way, and we're going to be all doxing after the project. It's not a huge deal. Obviously, we're not hiding anything, but my business partner's name is Jack. He's from Texas. He went to Kansas University for business. And whenever Jack and I have ever done anything, he helped me code all of the softwares that I used for trading. And that was just kind of like how we made our connection. We come from the same town. We actually met through a mutual friend who's an Olympic swimmer out in Encinitas, California, which is crazy because we're from the same town. It was just like a small world thing. And me and Jack had just always hit it off. It was always, great conversations. I always felt like I could trust the guy. And it was just like anytime we decided we were going to do something, it got done, which I hadn't really experienced with any other business partner or friend or anybody like that. So we both valued that through anything that we did. And then eventually, as I was catching the bug for NFTs, I was just like, Jack, like he was the only person that came to mind who I wanted to be like my running partner. And I knew that because he's in the development side, he's our lead developer, and he's just a lot more smart in regards to that kind of stuff. And I was like, I just want to be able to focus on what I'm really good at, bring in him, and then we can lead the rest. And so he's crushed it the whole time. And like, but in the beginning, like he wasn't sure. He's like, okay, what are these NFT things? Like, what is this all about? And I think at one point I had even offered him like $10,000 to like just stop everything he was doing and just like learn. Like I was like willing to fund his journey into it just so that I could have a running mate that I trusted and that I wanted to do business with. And he ended up just catching the bug himself. Obviously didn't want to take my money. He's not that kind of guy. And then we both were just like, yo, like I think that we're both in a great position financially and just with the knowledge we've accumulated over the last 6 months of both proactively being in this to build something, and so we didn't start the project like super fast, like, oh, this is what we're going to do. We're like, let's kind of slowly, develop the art, the style, like what are these characters going to look like? How are they going to make people feel? And then that slowly led into like us realizing, wow, there's not a whole lot of resource out there for NFTs or crypto or Web3 in general. We were having to sift through a lot of crap just to get answers for our own selves, for our own projects, our own demands and needs. And that's where the whole Brainiac idea came to fruition, was like, okay, so that's what we want to do. That's the problem that we want to solve long term. And it all goes back to like what Gary Vee says too. He's thinking in decades and years. Like we are 1000% on the same page. We're planning to do some big stuff in the next year, following with Roadmap V2. I don't know if you've checked out our current roadmap, but our vision stands for something that we plan to last a decade or longer. We're planning to really bridge the gap between Web 2 and Web 3 content in the way that we build our company. And we decided that we wanted our primary to focus to be, we want the Brainiacs and the Brainiac Society and the community as a whole to be a high-level keynote speaker brand, and that's something that evolves into the metaverse, a Decentraland, a sandbox type environment, where we're going in. I don't know if I'm pushing into any of the questions you're going to ask, but essentially that's how the Brainiacs came about. That's the vision that we decided we wanted to lock onto, and that's what we've started building ever since. So that's that's a little bit about me. Jack, he comes from he might be on the call. I haven't had a chance to check, but Jack comes from a very well done background coming up. He did everything right. He went to college. He got his scholarship. He works at a very high level for an insurance company right now. So, this is something for both of us that we're like, this is a new leaf, a new chapter, and something that we're taking so serious, and has just brought us all the joy. So we started about 7 months ago, and now we're looking at about 2 weeks out from launch. So it's like finally here. It feels really good, and we've had incredible support. So again, thank you guys for having us here on Crypto Monks. Really an honor to be here. And but yeah, that's a little bit about us.
Dude, I love that, man. And it was really cool. I remember when you were telling me about doing all the keynote stuff and some of the people. Are you able to do you have any people in mind or anyone you can talk about or say when it comes to your first one that you're planning on doing?
Yeah, so we're in a talks with a couple different people as far as the first one. Man, I don't know. It's hard. Fuck, I want to tease. So I have a really big Rolodex. I spent a couple years in LA, and through there, I don't know how many people here follow me, Jang, if you follow me on Instagram, but you can go to my pictures. You can see that like I'm personal friends with people like FaZe Banks, a lot of the guys from FaZe Clan. Not like we're chatting every day, but there's definitely strong mutual respect there, and there's there's ways that I can extend on that. And there's been discussions and there's current discussions. I definitely don't want to spoil that, but I do have a really big Rolodex of people that are in Web3. And so that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to start close to home, with people that I've, got their respect, I've got their trust, and, they're high level people. And then sort of kind of like how we started with collabs, in the Brainiacs, it took, I think our first big one was the Woodies, and then that ultimately led us to get, Cryptoon Goons because they had seen other established projects, which then Cryptoon Goons led to, the Ape List, the Doodles, Cool Man's Universe, and here we are in Monks, and that's all because we've incrementally, stacked our credibility and showed little by little each project that we're serious and that we're really about this project and that we're really here to bring value. So we intend to do the same exact thing with public speakers and the keynote events that we have. And we're trying to, be strategic in who we want to save for like our first Decentraland based keynote event. We haven't announced too much or talked too much about that, but that's where we have to kind of be smart. It's like we do want to bring high level people into the Discord, but we're within a year of actually doing what we plan to do in Decentraland and building Brainiac Land. That's going to be one of our first steps, is like buying a bunch of land, building Brainiac Land, and then using that to host the key speakers. And just like, you see Gary Vee and he's vlogging his day, he's cutting it up into vlogs and valuable information. We're going to be doing the same exact thing in the metaverse. We're going to be, vlogging. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen those Fortnite tournament replays. That's just the best example that comes to mind when you think like a metaverse replay of some sort. But if you go and watch like a Fortnite produced video of their post tournaments, it's not like you're watching from first person shooter. Like you're watching from like, a different perspective. Like you're literally on the map and you can see all the players playing and you can see everything that's happening as if you're really there. And so when you think about that and you think about having an event in the metaverse, I don't know if anybody has attended an event in the metaverse, but it gets really, really cool. And I don't think there's very many people that are focusing on just that. Like, how can we build a valuable stage in the metaverse where people know that that's where we're going to go to receive information or to, hear somebody talk. And then obviously that's how we intend to, increase the value. We're not going to be like floor checkers or anything like that. Like I said, we're a long-term project, but that's how we intend to increase the value of, the holders and the NFTs themselves, is to bring people in that are so high level that it's like, oh, well, I really don't want to miss that in the way that we market it and things like that, and so that they'll go and get an NFT or want to be a part of the community or stay in the community because they don't know who's going to be the next one. And then on the other side of the coin, those speakers that are going to be coming in, they're going to be bringing in fresh eyes every single time we bring in a new speaker. So that's our plan for kind of keeping fresh eyes on the project, keeping, consistent value flowing. And then obviously there's other things that, we're going to try to do along the way, but that's going to be our main focus, is like, how valuable can we make this NFT by the people that we bring in to offer their, wisdom around Web3.
I love it. Dude, that's gonna be a ton of fun. I haven't seen too many people doing that too big, and that's gonna be something that I think, us as monks as well, that we think that they're, education's a really, really big part, and there's a lot of shit all over the place. And if you knew that there's one shop, one spot that you could go to that had high level people coming and teaching on all stuff in Web3, I think that's awesome, man. When it comes to, when you talk about like bridging the gap between Web 2 and Web 3 content for like distribution, distribution as well as consumption, like what are your plans there? What does that look like?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So this actually I found this as an important, topic to bring in the conversation in any time we are able to speak, because someone had asked me a question on a Twitter space, and their question was this, essentially: how do we intend on making sure that people that, because again, like his concern was like, if I'm in Discord but I'm not in Decentraland, like how do you plan on bridging that gap to making sure that, whatever events that you have in Decentraland can then get received in the Discord if people just aren't quite there yet, and to where they're going to still receive the value of holding the NFT. And I thought that was a really good question. And my point to that was like, well, it starts with understanding that every platform is different for content, right? You're not going to do the same thing on Twitter as you are on Instagram, as you are on Discord, as you are on TikTok. They're all different platforms for different things, right? And so it doesn't change when we start talking about Decentraland. When we're talking about Decentraland, there's going to be all kinds of new forms of marketing that are created. But in terms of consumption, I think it stays very much the same. And just like I was just saying, whenever we have speakers come into Brainiac Land and we have the stage, and we're going to be finding really clever ways to record all of it, right, within the metaverse. So it's like, and to be able to do that means that we're going to have, videos of content. Then we could then distribute on YouTube the way that YouTube needs to be marketed on to then Twitter, then Instagram Reels, and all these different things. So we're planning on really heavily relying on the content within the metaverse, and then using that to chop up and distribute to all the other platforms, so that people, even if they're not in Decentraland, that's what I mean by bridge the gap. They're going to say, well, oh, this is cool. Like they're like all avatars, and that's like Gary Vee talking, like that's cool. But it's more about what he's saying and the experience that you're receiving. You're like, that, I feel like that's going to perk a lot of ears. And it is like one of our goals to help people kind of like bridge people into Decentraland, get people actually into the metaverse, like to understand how you can use it, why you would use it, why you would want to hang out with people there, to know that you can go into a virtual space as like the avatar that you want, a crypto monks, a brainiac, whatever it is. Like you can go and show up as your thing, and then see all of your other homies from the community as theirs, and like your one united group and community. It becomes 10 times more real, and it's more of an immersive experience that people are like going to relate to far more. So that's like the goal, right? To just be able to take as much content as we can through these virtual events, and then chop them up and redistribute them on the Web 2 side of things, so that people are able to still receive the value and see, what's going on, and then maybe even educate them enough or interest them enough to then go into the Decentraland and start using it themselves to say, oh, wow, this is cool. Because I don't know, have you ever seen those guys that there's people right now that are full on just vlogging in the metaverse. I think there's other platforms other than like Decentraland or Sandbox where you can they have it set up to where you can like kind of just like vlog yourself. I thought that was super sick. And I think that that's only going to evolve more and more. That's going to become like the new thing. People are going to identify with their avatars, and they're going to want to, brand themselves and distribute content and value as that. So that's kind of what we're playing on. Like I said, it goes back to us thinking very long term, not so much where is Web3 right now, because we all know that it's constantly changing. It's super fast. And so we want to be planning ahead. Where are people kind of at? Something that they understand, but we're just not quite there yet until like we create the way for that to be a normal thing, or, at least help bridge the gap, as we've said. So does that answer your question as far as how we intend to do it? You think people understand that?
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. And then even taking all the content that you guys are recording in there, putting it across all the other social platforms, but then also from long form content, you can take it and put it into something, whether it's your own platform or using something like WAP or something. You can have gated gated content. So you could have like, even if you miss it in Decentraland, you could have the full recording
Exactly.
and you come to the website, you verify you have a Brainiac, and you get access to all the recordings of all the calls that have happened there, where you're not just giving it away for free to everything on YouTube, but you put the bite-sized stuff on other platforms to pull them in. That's awesome, dude. I love it.
Yeah, dude. And just the technology alone with Decentraland and a lot of these metaverses, dude, the way that you can record stuff, hold a content library in Brainiac Land for someone to then go and just enjoy that immersive experience as if they were there just as a recording, though. Because when we're talking about recordings on the Web3 side, it is not Web2. You're looking at a screen. It's like, no, you can be in the space as if you were actually there, because it's recording everything. Like I said, with the Fortnite replays, you got to go check that out, just because it'll get your mind spinning on where this stuff can really be in terms of content and recording something, and then getting to replay it if you missed it, right? So it's like, even with our Discord AMAs and the ones that we're going to be starting out with, all that stuff is going to be recorded and stuck in files, and then eventually we're just going to build a massive library. So even if you are late, say you buy a Brainiac a year from now, you're still going to get, it's going to be even more valuable, because, you're going to get access to all of these post-recorded, keynote events and, guest speakers and things like that. So we plan to just continue to stack value that way and do that. But yeah, we're super excited about it.
I love that. Love it, dude. Yeah, dude. It's gonna be fun. What you touched on some. Did you touch on all? Yeah, I guess you touched on most of them, because you've been getting some pretty big projects that have all been kind of jumping in as well, which has been really, really cool to see, dude. I remember when we were first chatting, and you're talking about different AMAs, and now you're getting to the point where you're doing stuff. You're having Neo Tokyo come and raid you guys. Who are all the projects that you're doing stuff with?
Yeah, so I know we have a list, but off the top of my head, it's been World of Women, Doodles, Cool Man's Universe, Neo Tokyo, the Cool Cats, and then a bunch of other smaller projects that haven't really established as well, but they're still crushing it. And yeah, dude, honestly, that all of that is just due to like being blessed with an amazing community of people that not only want to be in Brainiac Land, but they want to build this with us. Like our mutual friend Luke, for example, Luke found us from Jang, and posting us in an alpha group, just showing love. And now Luke is like the head of our community management. And so Luke is actually responsible for a lot of these collabs, in terms of just being the guy that was going to, front run getting back to these people, making sure they got the information, making sure their questions were answered, that someone was always in front of them. Because I'm like, I'm so impressed. You guys have how many people on your team? 4 or 5? 5 guys you got?
Yeah, about 5. Yeah, 5.
Yeah, that's sick, dude. And I get it,
Solid.
because it's like there's a lot going on at all times, and it's like important to focus on like, what am I really good at? And for me, it's like community building, the vision, and like, for the first part of it, it was the Brainiacs, like, how do we really want to, dude? I always tell the community, like 20,000. I've personally scrolled through at least 20,000 different generations of these Brainiacs, and just wanting it to be so perfect, wanting it to be so on point, like the littlest nitpicky stuff. So Jack, he's been an incredible business partner, because it's like every time we need a change, he needs to go in and change code, and then regenerate, and then change it again, then regenerate, then change the percents. And he's just like stuck with me the whole time, which as a creator and like as an artist has just made it so much more fun. And yeah, so like it's really a big thanks to our community and the people that have been, actively involved in the community, that have, I think, even given them the confidence to know, like, wow, these people really care about the community. They're really after it. They're on top of it. And it's just been one thing after another, like the domino effect, But yeah, super blessed for that. But it's been super cool, dude, because yeah, like when we were talking about it, obviously it was the same excitement. And it's one thing to talk about your vision and, right when you're starting to build it, but as it's like coming to life and things are happening and people are respecting it, it just feels so much more worth it. And so much more. It's like catching my second win, then my third win, my fourth win. It's like I'm not getting tired of this stuff anytime soon, So it's like to have those projects coming in as projects that I've aped into and made a substantial amount of money and that have impacted my life in such a positive way. It's like it's such a blessing. I mean, there's no other words for it. It's really cool.
Right, dude. Love it, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, before we get into the because we'll start getting into mint details, supply and all of that. One last one on here. What do you think? We've gone over quite a bit as far as the project goes. What do you think is like the big thing that separates Brainiacs from other projects in terms of like overall value?
Yeah, solid question. So for me, and I think, Jack would vouch for me on this too, because we spent a lot of time talking about it. We're extremely focused on one thing, building a high value keynote speaking brand. And as you know, with as much content as that's going to bring, it's going to stem into a lot of other things, surely. But for us, we are a team that's extremely focused on exactly what we're trying to do. And we're extremely transparent about it. We've spent 7 months building this project to make sure that it was actually perfect before we wanted to build the hype, before we wanted to start, really pushing on the internet and getting people excited. We first wanted to be the most excited and the most confident about what we're doing. And so when we look at other projects and other things that are out, we see, hold on a second, my dog's getting crazy. Hey guys, hey. When you see all these other projects, though, you get people way over pitching their roadmaps and just over promising things and, talking about games that haven't even been started for development and just a lot of stuff without any actual thing up front right now for them to look forward to, for them to have value in and understand. And so it's like, that's where we wanted to separate ourselves as a brand and as a group, is like, we don't want to be trying to promise, hey, we're going to have all this and all that and all the bells and whistles. Like, no, this is very focused. This is what we're looking to build. This is what we're going to be doing. This is how we're going to be doing it. We've been extremely direct and transparent about it. If you look at our first roadmap, it's extremely community focused. We're not talking about any of the big picture stuff, because for us, it starts with community. It starts with foundation, laying that concrete, making sure the community is on the same page, making sure the community feels invited after their, investment into the art, to the community, to have a say and to actually be able to tell us what they expect this to be, and how they expect us to go about getting, speakers, or who they want us to have go and reach out to them. And, because it's, look, the money that we make and that we raise from this project, it's, all going to speakers. It's all going to building out, buying Brainiac land and doing that. So it's like, we don't want to just go into that and doing that, assuming that we know the best way, or assuming that we know what's going to be the most exciting way. So our V2 roadmap starts with a community vote that's going to be predicated on you owning a Brainiac NFT. And obviously it's going to be centered around our primary focus of building a Keynote brand, but the community is going to have a lot of voting power in terms of the micro things within all of it, how the Discord's set up, how we let people in or don't let people in the Discord, how often we host the AMAs, the keynote speaking events. Because for me, we're going to have keynote events, and those are going to be like, 3 to 5 different speakers coming in. It's going to be like a big event. And then we're going to have monthly AMAs where it's consecutive speakers that are coming in, whether it's, someone that, a lot of us love on Twitter or whatever it is, maybe less prestigious people that aren't like a Gary Vee or a Grant Cardone, high level, FaZe Banks, but they're still someone that you're going to want to listen to and that we can all learn a lot from. So that's going to be a lot of our focus for the AMAs. And then Keynote's going to be a lot more high level people. But I'd say what separates us the most is that we have a direct focus on what our vision is and what we're intending to build. And we're not like decking out a roadmap of stuff that we don't even understand. So I think that that's pretty important.
Yeah, no doubt, dude. And that's just going to get that'll just get bigger and bigger and bigger. And as you start doing it, like you said, the content that'll come out from there and what you guys will be able to do across all socials and platforms is going to be incredible, dude. And shit, who knows? Maybe you get PJ on there for a.
Yeah, no, dude, for sure. We definitely got to have you guys come out there and speak for us here on just in the Discord and stuff post launch. Dude, yeah, like for us, it's all about connections and relationships too. Like what kind of Rolodex can we build for our holders? Just being able to be a Brainiac and getting to be in the virtual room with these people, like that's something that has never been we've never been able to do that before. It's always been like maybe a Zoom call, but that's different because you're just, again, looking at the screen. You're not standing next to the person speaking and all the other people listening. It's just a completely different experience. And so we're building for that, something that, again, it's not a mainstream concept right now, but we believe that it will be. And so by the time that it does, we're trying to be at the front of that and make sure that everybody knows the Brainiacs name, and even the Brainiacs themselves, like I said, that's our key focus. But, we're super into the animation side of things, like we've had talks about short films and stuff like that, but we're not going to put it on our roadmap because we haven't fully decided that's what we want to do. Those are the things that we're going to let the community then come in and vote about, because they're like more not like knick-knacky, but they're not like must-haves, you know. But there's something that we can do. Like if you look at V Friends and what Gary Vee's trying to do with each little, I think he said that 200 characters are like in the queue to be animated series of some sort, and that he's looking to make it a household name. I think that a lot of different projects can do that in a lot of different ways. You know, I could go on forever about that. I mean, you're talking about all the cereal brands that have, you know, characters, and all these little brands that already have like art characters that they've been branding on for a while. What are they going to do? And it's like, that's a whole interesting side of things. But again, our primary focus is Keynote events, but, you know, I think a lot of those things will come to life, you know, just by default too. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Are we
yeah,
on?
yeah.
Okay, good.
Jane, you there?
His mic may have died.
Yeah, I think his mic might have
Got,
died.
got,
Womp, womp, womp.
got rugged.
Yeah, right.
Yo, here's the important question. And I thought about this, but CXC was the one who put it on paper, so I don't look like a total idiot. What kind of dog?
There you go. What kind of dog?
Yeah.
What did you say? Like, what
You said
kind of
you
dogs
had-
do I have?
Yeah, you said you had to wrangle dogs.
Oh,
I
yeah,
want to
yeah,
know what
yeah.
the dogs are.
I got, no, yeah.
I mean,
German
CXC
Shepherds.
wants
my
to
two-
know.
Yeah, I got 2 German Shepherds.
Oh,
Guard dogs.
beautiful.
No, they
Yeah,
are. They're
yeah.
so good. I think I only had one when I met Jang. I had Lana, the girl, and then I just picked up Louis. He's the boy, so he has to hold things down. He's a lot more fierce, so she's too friendly.
That's funny. Yeah, I had 2 German
Yes.
Shepherds too, actually. The only thing I don't miss is the hair. They would shed
Oh,
like
yeah.
crazy. Yeah, they're nuts, but they're such great
Yeah.
dogs. They're such great
They're
dogs.
my 4th and 5th one, so yeah, that's the only dog I've ever had. They're just so loyal, and it's like, yeah, they're little shits at first, but once you really train them and they develop that loyalty, it's like having
Oh,
kids.
smart.
You know, they're just on point.
Yeah, on point. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Have a
Okay,
white
cool.
shepherd
Yeah,
once
man.
upon a time.
So, real quick, did we dive into anything about the actual mint or any of the stuff that you guys have? Like, did we start with that? Usually we actually put that out in front. I don't think we did that this time. Did you
It's
guys
all
want to talk
good.
a
We
little
do
bit
things
about that?
differently.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
totally
so
fine.
Yeah. So as far as the mint, we just announced, and that was something that we actually had the community voting on too. You know, we had discussed, hey, you know, what if we do a riddle? If you solve the riddle, it'll let you mint more. And you know, some people, it was kind of like more half and half, but still people were just like, no, let's just do a set mint. And then we voted on how much we could do, you know, 4, 6, or 8, and it was outstandingly 4. So for pre-sale, everyone's going to get to mint 4, and that's how we're setting it up there. We're going to be announcing at the end of this week. Well, I'll just give a little sneak preview for the monks, but we're going to be opening a pre-sale 2 list. We're not going to say much on how we're going to be going about that as far as, you know, how you get it. It's going to be really easy. The hint is just be around Brainiac land, and you'll be good to go. But we're going to be opening a pre-sale 2 list at the end of this week and discussing more in terms of that, and then talking about those mint numbers as well. But for pre-sale mint 1 on March 18th, it'll be 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you'll be able to mint 4 Brainiacs as a pre-sale.
All right.
And we have, and then we have 8,888 total Brainiacs, and then the mint price is 0.08 for the mint.
All right. So you guys have, it's all, like you said, it's full whitelist, right?
Yeah.
You guys have a couple
Yeah, we're
different...
full in terms of, we have some people that haven't announced giveaways yet. But like, you know, like is with the whitelist that we're giving the monks and a few other projects. Yeah, we're full. We are stacked. And then we've left a little room to give some away to the community, but yeah, definitely full. So if you get one, you got in, you got lucky.
Yep. I have a couple things on here too about chances to receive other things as well. Did you go over that, or am I just tripping?
I don't think we've gone over that yet.
Okay,
Yeah.
no worries. Jane, you back?
Yeah, I'm back here now. Yeah, we haven't.
Hey.
Where you're at on the list is where we are. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. All right,
Yeah.
I want to post some of this stuff in general. AMA questions. All right, cool. All right. Did you want to take it over, Jinx? Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, it's all good. All good, dude. So you went over the date, March 18th. It's at 1:30 EST?
Yes, 1:30
1:30
EST.
So that's what, 10:30? 10:30 PST. March 18th, 8,888, price at 0.08. And then we have a couple notes on here. I don't know if you want to touch on any of these, but as far as like chance to win some stuff that you guys have.
Yeah. So, yeah, I didn't know when we were getting into that. So, yeah, it's something that we wanted to do for the monks community is we're going to give away a crypto monks to you guys, just as a thank you for you guys having us on and just to show some love to the community. Yeah. So, and you guys' floor's looking pretty nice too. So, I mean, I imagine whoever's going to win, it's going to hold it. I would hope so. But yeah, no, that's what we're planning on doing. So we're going to make a little Twitter announcement after the AMA, which will tell you how you can win. But we're going to be looking for monks holders. So make sure your PFP is a monk and, help us out a little bit and we can help you guys out. But yeah, we're going to be doing that just as a thank you because, dude, it was crazy. Like, for the past few weeks, we had people just coming in like, when are the monks and the Brainiacs going to do something? Like, just asking. I was just sending Jinx all these pictures. I'm like, dude, I'm basically getting harassed right now. Like, the monks won't leave me alone. They're just like asking every day now. And so I'm glad that we got it set up. But yeah, that's something that we like to do for the projects that show us love. So we'll be looking forward to doing that for you guys.
Dude, thank you. That's awesome, man. Thank you. And everyone in the
Very
chat.
generous,
Absolutely.
bro. Very generous, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
we've done a few AMAs and you're the first to do something like that. So that's awesome, man.
Yeah, I told Jang, I was telling you, Jang, like, I got mine, so I had to go and buy a new one because I wasn't going to give away one of mine. Yeah, but no, we're stoked to do it. Yeah, absolutely, man. Have to do it.
And as far as like, so with the Brainiacs mint, is there anything? I just have some notes here. As far as like, was there chances? Like chance to win stuff?
Yeah,
as far
so
as,
you're talking about the incentives.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Let me get the full list pulled up here so I can be on point with it. Second.
I believe it said you're giving away a GameCube, if I saw that correctly.
Yeah, I know. I know game Super Smash Bros. On it.
Yeah,
In
dude,
the
OG,
queue.
let's go.
All right, so yeah, and this was something we just decided on like really early on because obviously for me and my true impression on NFTs was community, and it's like it's something I've always believed in was the mastermind effect and how powerful that can be, which obviously evolved into the Brainiacs and what it's becoming. I bought the domain NFTmasterminds.com. I own ROImasterminds.com. A lot of mastermind tags just because and ROI Masterminds was the brand that I was building when I was trading Forex. And so I've just always been about that. And so when we were building this, we're like, I think a big portion of what we have and what we accumulate should go back to the community and we're going to be giving away some ETH. I'm going to go down the list here, but essentially this is our way, point blank, the disclaimer, like there are incentives to get people excited about Mint, to get people more, aware and wanting to share it and wanting to be involved and wanting to mint the max and things like that. Like that's our way of saying like, okay, if you're going to go all out on us, we're going to find a way to go all out in the community right out of the gate, because obviously some of these things with keynotes and getting into Decentraland, it's going to take time, so we wanted to have some stuff in there just to ember the fire and keep people excited. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is a 10 ETH raffle to 5 winners that we're going to be splitting that across. So the 10 ETH will be 2 ETH to 5 different people. And so with those, you got to be ranked a Sergeant Brainiac in the group, which I believe is about 212 messages sent within the Discord. You got to be the top 25 on the XP leaderboard, and you have to be the top 25 on the invites leaderboard. And then you must have at least 2 Brainiacs every 2 mints. You must mint at least 2 Brainiacs, but every 2 mints thereafter, for example, 4 mints, 6, 8, if you get into public 2, will be an additional 5 raffle entries per additional mints beyond 2. And then you must be verified with your Brainiac NFT inside the Discord. That's all you have to do for the 10 ETH raffle. And we're going to be picking those winners 30 days after mint. And then we're going to be also giving away a Mutant Ape, a Clone X, a Doodles, and a World of Women. And so there's going to be 4 winners for those. And there's 2 requirements there. You must, one second. Hey, go lay down. Go lay down. You must mint a minimum of 4 Brainiacs and own 4 Brainiacs 60 days following the mint. Every additional Brainiac owned beyond 4 by the 60th day is an extra 5 raffle entries per 1 additional Brainiac owned. It also doesn't matter if you sell your Brainiacs after mint and buy more, as long as you minted and as long as you own 4 by the 60th day. Then you also must be verified in the Brainiac Discord. So that's what I'm most excited about. because I have a couple of some of these, and I'm just personally giving them away out of my wallet. And just as like, again, a massive thank you to the community, because this project is going to be like my primary NFT focus, you know, so I don't want to be too, you know, spread out focusing on, you know, other big projects. Like I want to make mine the biggest project and, you know, give some of these away to say thank you to you guys for taking part in the mint. 1 second. Hey, can you guys go lay down? Let's be friends tonight, huh? Okay. And then, and then, we're going to be giving away 25 Brainiac NFTs. So there's going to be 25 winners there. And then in order to qualify for that, you just have to be a Sergeant Brainiac. Again, the 212 messages in the group within 7 days post mint. So you only have a week following our pre-sale launch to be able to qualify for and make sure that you're a Sergeant Brainiac. And then you must own at least one Brainiac NFT. So you don't have to mint anything. You just have to be ranked as Sergeant Brainiac, and you must own at least one Brainiac NFT. And then we're going to be giving away 25 Brainiac NFTs to 25 different people. And then the last one, this is the one that we're really excited about, is we're going to be giving away 10% of the initial. So we're going to do 8, but we've decided on 7.5% is our royalty. So out of the 7.5% royalties that we make 60 days following mint, we're going to be giving one of you guys 10% of that, of all that's accumulated in those 60 days. And the 2 requirements for that is you must mint the max Brainiacs and own at least, well, we're going to have to actually update. So I'll send an update for Jang, because I thought our mod had updated this, but it doesn't look like it, because this was based on when we were going to be minting a lot more. So I'll send an update on this, but you'll have a chance to receive 10% of the 7.5% royalties that we accumulate 60 days following launch. So those are our incentives, and you'll see them in the incentives channel. If you go into Brainiac Land, they're all right there listed, and you know, very clear. So if you guys want to check those out, but yeah, that's what we're planning on doing.
Love it, dude. Yeah, 1 sec.
I just posted the. Oh, whoops! Yeah, the Brainiacs link.
Oh, so it's for the 10% royalties. You got to mint at least 4 Brainiacs and own at least 8 on the 60th day for you to be eligible.
Perfect.
So we're rewarding the whales.
Perfect. Awesome. And one thing, yeah, I guess we didn't touch on as well. Someone mentioned whitelist spots. Maybe you want to touch on what do we got as far as whitelist allocation for monks? We haven't.
Yes. So for the monks, you know, because you guys have just been harassing me in the Discord, you know, we thought you guys really wanted a solid win. So we're going to be giving you guys 300 whitelist spots, which for us is a lot, because, you know, we only had so many left on the list, and you guys took up a big chunk of that. So we're going to be giving you guys 300 whitelist spots for the monks.
Yeah, let's go.
Yes, sir.
Everyone's pumped on that. There we go.
All right.
We're gonna give those away. If you guys go down just to the channel AMA Recordings, because you all are blowing up the AMA Questions channel, so that the form doesn't get buried, go down to the AMA Recordings channel where we post all the AMA recordings clearly, and there's a Dino form there. Go there, fill that out, and we will do our normal selection process.
Sweet. And then if you guys win, if you win the whitelist spot, the first thing you guys want to do is come in. I mean, whatever information they need from you guys, but you got to come in, and there's a verify channel. It's just called Presale. It's under the Brainiac info category, and the channel's Presale. And you just go in there and you click on the role, and then we'll have mods there to verify and make sure that you're legit and good to go. So that's all you'll have to do as a final step. And then if they collect your guys' addresses, and I don't know how you guys typically do that, that's fine. If not, we have a pre-sale form that becomes available once you get your role, and you can go in and fill that out as well.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we'll have a full list over that we can just send over to you. That'll maybe make it. Yeah, maybe that'll make it easy. And then
Perfect.
Yeah,
we can just add that to our Excel sheet.
Perfect. Cool. Awesome. Well, with that being said, any other questions that we got from anyone? We got about 10 minutes left till the top of the hour. If any of you guys got any other questions on anything Brainiacs, let us know in the AMA questions here. Someone says,
don't be shy.
If you already have the pre-sale role, do we not fill out this form? Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're already on there.
What do you say?
He said, if you already have the pre-sale role, do we not fill out this form? Well, yeah, if you
No,
guys
you still fill out the form. The first step is getting the role, and then right when you get the role, you'll see under the pre-sale channel, it'll say pre-sale form. I tag the pre-sales every single day, so if you didn't see it today, I'll tag every day up until mint. The deadline though is the 15th. If you don't fill out the form by the 15th and you haven't submitted your information anywhere else, then there's nothing we can do. You just won't be able to make it.
Yeah, we'll make sure they get over there by then.
Yeah, perfect.
They should be over there already.
Yeah, a lot of them are, dude. Feels like a monks community some days. No, it's good. It's good. But yeah, no, if any of you guys have any questions just on the team, on me and Jack specifically, on just the direction, first steps, whatever it is, you guys can fire away. Don't be shy.
How long are we going to fill it? Chinder, how long are we leaving the form open? Someone was asking, like, I'm driving right now. How long are we going to leave the form?
We generally leave them open for 48 hours. So probably since we got to get it to you by the 15th, we'll leave it open for, till Wednesday, just about this time on Wednesday. And I will get that pressed hot and sent over.
Perfect.
Yeah, and make sure you guys are following us on Twitter because that's where we're going to be announcing. We'll make an announcement in the Discord too, but that's where we're going to be announcing the monks giveaway.
Perfect. Well, we'll give a couple minutes if there's any more last minute questions that pop in. And we'll see what's up here. If anyone else has any more last minute questions, pop them in the AMA questions chat here. Got a couple more minutes and then we'll sign off. We'll leave the form open for 48 hours. And then make sure you guys follow Brainiacs on Twitter for the monks giveaway there. And
if you guys haven't already signed up for that whitelist Rolodex that we put together, just a casual reminder about that. So
all right. Well, I think it looks like questions have pretty much been done now.
All right.
We'll do any last minute questions if you guys want them in. If not, we'll probably wrap up here pretty quickly. Just by the way, dude, thank you for popping out. Johnny, dude, it was a pleasure having you here. I know it's been something that everyone here has been talking about for a while, so been pumped to have you out here. Really excited to see what you guys are building and excited to jump in there myself, so it's going to be fun, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I really appreciate it again. Thank you guys. This was a really fun AMA to do. And, just like every time we get to talk about the Brainiacs and answer questions, it just makes me more and more excited. It's just super refreshing and to be thinking about that stuff. Because when you get deep in the trenches and you're building and you're just, active in the community and stuff, it's like, it's easy to get focused on the now. But like getting to do this stuff is always such a fun opportunity. And making sure that, the newcomers, whether from Brainiac land or the monks, get to, just hear a real voice, get some reassurance there that there's, real passionate people behind the project. That's super important to me. This is something that's become my baby very quickly. So we're very excited and we're very, very grateful for anybody that does decide to mint and take part in, Brainiac land and the future of it. So thank you all so much for having me.
Awesome, man. Thank you,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, it's great to listen to you talk too, man. Really excited.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All righty. Well, I'll see you guys in Brainiac land, and we can't wait to give away a monk. It's going to be sick.
Looking forward to it, dude, man. Thanks again, dude. Have a great day. And everyone, I posted the Twitter. I'll pop it in here again for Brainiacs. Be sure to go check it and follow on there. Keep your eyes on there as they do the monks giveaway. And we'll see you guys soon. Thanks again, Johnny, and everyone else for popping in. And we'll chat with you guys soon. Take care, guys.
All righty. Thank you so much. You guys have a good night.
Thanks, man. Dude,
thank
peace.
you.